When the transport ship landed on Threxia Prime, the last thing I expected was to be personally summoned to the Queen's Hall. My job was simple: carry crates, catalog trade supplies, and avoid offending anyone important. But someone must have found my presence interesting, because a royal guard marched up to me and said, "Human Liam Hale, Her Majesty requests your presence immediately."
Requests.
I would later learn that was a polite translation. Threxian royalty did not request anything. They commanded. I was taken through breathtaking crystalline corridors, tall arches shimmering like starlight frozen in glass. Every Threxian noble we passed stared openly at me. Confusion, curiosity, some even disgust. Humans were still new to their empire, but none looked at me with more intensity than the Queen herself. Queen Arale sat upon a throne carved from a single piece of prismatic stone. She was towering, over 8 feet tall, statuesque, with metallic silver skin that reflected the hall's light. Her eyes were gold and luminescent, like twin suns that could pierce through the strongest armor. She observed me for far too long. "You," she said finally, her voice deep yet melodic. "You are the human who carried the cargo containers without assistance." My throat felt dry. "Yes, Your Majesty. They weren't that heavy." A murmur rippled through the court. Threxians had always assumed humans were fragile. Arale leaned forward, interest blooming across her features. "You intrigue me." I forced a nervous smile. "Thank you." But she didn't smile back. Instead, she stood, descending the crystalline steps with the grace of a hunting feline. Then she stopped in front of me, towering, dominant, regal. "You will dine with me tonight." I opened my mouth to decline, but a guard shot me a warning glare. So I nodded. And that simple nod, I would later realize, set off a political earthquake. Middle, a queen's intense attention. Dinner with Queen Arale was not a private, candlelit affair. It was a spectacle, an entire hall of nobles watching as I ate beside her throne. She studied every movement I made. "How does the food taste?" she asked. "Good," I answered, trying not to choke on the strange glowing fruit. She tilted her head. "I have never shared a meal with a human before." I smiled awkwardly. "I've never shared a meal with a queen before." This time, she did smile just slightly. Throughout the meal, she asked question after question about Earth, about humanity, about strength, courage, loyalty. She was particularly fixated on loyalty. "You humans bond deeply," she said. "When you choose someone, you stay with them." I nodded. "That's true." Her golden eyes softened. "Then choose me." The hall fell silent. I nearly dropped my spoon. "Your Majesty? You will be my consort," she declared. "My husband." The word husband echoed through the hall like a thunderclap. I looked around. The nobles were frozen in shock. Guards stared in disbelief. Some seemed ready to faint. I whispered. "This is sudden." Arale stepped closer, lowering her voice. "You are strong,
Honest. Loyal.
I have decided. You'll stand at my side." Heat crept into my face. Part of me was flattered. She was beyond beautiful. But another part of me felt something off. Her tone wasn't romantic. It wasn't warm. It was possessive. "Can I think about it?" I asked weakly. "No," she said simply. And that was the moment I realized Queen Arale had never been told the word no in her entire life. The maid who changed everything. It was later that night, while I wandered the palace gardens to calm my nerves, that I met her. A Threxian palace maid, small by their standards, maybe 6 feet tall, with soft lavender skin and gentle eyes. She was tending to a cluster of luminescent flowers. She startled when she saw me.
Oh.
Why, you're the human everyone is talking about. I groaned.
Great.
It's spreading. She giggled, a soft musical sound. I am Lyra. I clean the Queen's Hall. I saw what happened today. I ran a hand through my hair. Is she always like that? Lyra hesitated. Queen Arale is strong, fearless, but she is also alone. No one meets her eyes. No one talks to her casually. She sees your courage, and she thinks it means fate. She paused, looking down. But fate is not a command. I smiled slightly. You're the first person here who's talked to me like I'm normal. Her cheeks glowed faintly, a Threxian blush. You are normal, she murmured. That's why I wanted to talk to you. As we talked, I discovered something strange. Around Lyra, I could breathe. She didn't tower over me like a warrior goddess.
She didn't command.
She simply listened. And the longer we talked, the more I felt the one thing I never felt around the Queen. Comfort. The Queen's demand. The next morning, I was summoned again, this time to a private chamber. Arale was waiting, wearing ceremonial armor, gold and crimson streaks glowing across it. You had time to think, she said. I swallowed hard.
Yes.
And... Good, she interrupted. I expect your acceptance. My palms went cold. Your Majesty, I began. I'm honored, I truly am. But I can't marry someone I barely know. Her eyes narrowed. You feel fear? I shook my head.
No.
Just honesty. She stared for a long, dangerous second. Then she stepped closer. You walked with my maid yesterday. My chest tightened. We talked, that's all. She is beneath you, Arale said sharply. Beneath me. Humans mate for affection. If you seek affection, I will give you more than she ever could. My jaw clenched. She wasn't jealous. She was offended. Your Majesty, I whispered, I can't marry you. The temperature in the room dropped. Silence. Stillness. Then, you refuse me. Not a question. A statement of disbelief. I'm sorry. Her golden eyes flickered with something between fury and heartbreak. You choose the maid, she said bitterly. I exhaled slowly. I choose the person who treats me as an equal. Ending. The choice that shocked a kingdom. The throne hall was filled to capacity when the Queen summoned everyone. Nobles, guards, servants. Everyone had heard the rumor, but no one knew how it would end. Queen Arale stood tall, regal, but her expression was unreadable. Human Liam Hale, she announced, stepped forward. My heart pounded as I obeyed. Lyra stood among the servants, trembling. Yesterday, Arale declared, this human refused my offer of marriage. Gasps rippled through the hall. She continued, and he made his choice. Her gaze turned toward Lyra. Come forward. Lyra hesitated, then stepped out, shaking. The hall fell silent. Aurelia's voice softened, surprisingly so. You could have chosen a throne, she said to me. A life of power. Yet you chose someone with nothing. I looked her in the eyes. She isn't nothing. She's everything you're not letting yourself be. For a moment, I saw something break in the Queen's gaze. Something human. Finally, she stepped back and raised her hand. Then so it shall be. Murmurs exploded. She continued. Lyra of the servant class will receive full royal protection. No one will mistreat her. No one will harm her. And no one will question the human's decision. Then, she looked at me with a strange, complicated emotion. You taught me a word I had never heard before, she said quietly.
No.
Her expression softened, almost melancholy. And strangely, I am grateful. She stepped aside. The human has made his choice. Let the galaxy hear it. I reached for Lyra's hand. She grabbed mine instantly, tears shining in her eyes. Around us, whispers filled the hall, shock, confusion, awe.